Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to Bima's Crafty Corner. I am Bima, better known as Els, and I have a little project for us today. Um, it's this little guy. Yeah. And this is a scrap buster. That's right. We're going to get rid of some scraps. So, um, quick and easy to do. So get out your scraps. It is a hidden paper clip, so get out your paper clips. Get out your glue. Get out your ephemera. We're going to decorate some stuff. I'll be right back with a supply list. All right, supplies. Paper trimmer, tearing ruler, straight ruler if that's what you've got, okay? Scraps, book pages if you want to use some book pages for this. Liquid adhesive, probably better to use something like 3-in-1 than to use, just a regular adhesive. But if you've got art glitter glue, it'll work just the same. No hot glue on this one. And then some paper clips, whether you get, these things, which they call trombones, just regular paper clips, which I'm not big on because but since this is the way it's built, you can use those, or whatever kind of paper clip you have. I'm going to use a couple of these. I like the length. What can I say? Oh, I like that scrap. Look at that one. All right. So, all right. So the first thing I'm going to do is, if you're going to use book pages, let's talk about how we're going to treat those. I will be back in just a second and we'll get those put together. So if you're going to use book pages, one is they're too flimsy. So this is one of the few uses I have for glue stick. Washi tape, old paper, music, sheets or book pages. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glue on, and then I'm going to turn the other one upside down. Why? Because if I turn it upside down and I put it on here, no matter which way I fold it, it's in the right direction. Okay? So I'm going to let that dry. Again, I'm just going to put some. Always be mindful of words on pages if you're using book pages, okay? Now, this is one of the few glue sticks that I will use. This is from Blick Art. It is their Blick brand. And it works pretty good, okay? So, going that way, the other one going this way. One on top of the other, press it down. I'm going to let these dry, and when I come back, we're going to get started on this. I'll be right back. All right, so on these, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to tear off the edge. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want white edges. Now, you can use a ruler to do this, or you can just do it by hand. You get a little bit more of a jagged look. That's entirely up to you. I'm not going to get rid of these, though. I'm going to keep them because I put those in my scrap bin and I use them for things. For my little scraps, All right. So, how do I know that I did this right, the paper thing? I'll show you. Let me get these out of the way. See my paper? Here's my title. If I flip it this way, there's my title. If I flip it this way, I have a title and a title. But if I flip it this way, I have title at the top. So that when I fold this, my writing is going in the right direction. Going in the right direction. Okay. So I have that. And I have a plethora of offcuts. Okay. I have cardstock. I have digitals. I even have an old tag. Some cardstock. I have some regular paper. I have some scrapbook paper, and I have some book page. So I have everything that I need here to do this. So what I'm going to do is select my base. What's going to be my base? And I want my base to be relatively thick. So I think I'll take a piece of this. Now, in our original piece, and you don't have to make it this size. You can make it any size you want. But in our original piece, this is 2 1/4. So that means that this is a 4 1/2 inch piece of paper. So I'm looking for pieces that are about 4 1/2 inches. Guess what? That's 4 1/2 inches. And I want it to be, because I like this size, I want it to be about 2 3/4 inches, 1 3/4 inches wide, I think. Yep, 1 3/4. Now you can cut this first piece or you can tear it. It's entirely up to you. I am going to cut it just so that I know that I've got it right. So 1 3/4. This is my base. Okay, I'll cut a couple of those. Go this way. 1 3/4. Bye. About 4 1/2. Got that one. Got that one. Let's do one in this pretty blue. We'll do this one a little wider. We'll do this one at 2 by about 4 1/2. Okay, so we have all of those. Let me get this out of the way. The rest of this we're pretty much going to be tearing. So this is cardstock, and all I'm going to do is manually fold it in half. Now you can hit this with a bone folder. If you don't have a bone folder, use the handle on your scissors. Use a butter knife. Use your thumbnail. Whatever you have. Okay? There. So this is the base of our paper clip. So then all we're going to do is put a paper clip on in the middle. Ish. I'm even going to use one of these just so you can see. I do occasionally use them. I know, I'm very anti-trombone paper clip. Okay, so that's all 3 of those ready to go. The only thing I have left to do is to round the corners. So I'm going to do that. I'll be back and we're going to move on to the next step. It's easy. All right, so now that I have these, I've got out some smaller strips, and this is mostly paper, not cardstock. And that's really what you want for this. More paper. This is scrap of paper, scrap of paper. This is more of what you want for this project, okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to tear some pieces that are less than this. So not very wide at all. Okay. And I'm going to kind of put these on here and fold them, figure out where I want them. Let's see. I think I'm going to use a piece of this at the top. Maybe. Kind of like this. All right. Let me get a piece of this. Okay. So I'm going to put this on here, and I'm going to ink. Now, I don't have to round the corners on this if I don't want to, but I can. It's entirely up to you. I think I'm going to round this corner because that's the one you're going to see. Okay. And I'm going to put that over the paper clip. We just want to cover the paper clip. It doesn't have to be, you know, much more than that. And I'm going to glue that down. So I folded it over, made sure that it covered my paper clip on both sides. Should have probably been a little longer, but okay. I've covered my paper clip. I'm going to put some ink on this. And at the edge. All the way, both sides. Okay. And then this is going to go on there. So again, adhesive. Or adhesive boogies, if that's what you have. Glue boogies. I'm going to put that on. I'm going to add some ink on here. Now you could ink the inside of this if it's white and you don't want it to show white. You could certainly, ink the inside before you fold it up. So now I have that. I'm going to put that over there. And we're going to move on and do the rest of these. Now, this is easy peasy stuff. I'm just going to take this strip off. And then I'm going to tear this by hand. I'm just going to put it on here to make sure that it covers the paper clip. Tear off any bit that I don't want. This is literally like use up your scraps, guys. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink this. I'm going to ink this. Now this base is white on the inside. So I'm going to ink the inside as well, just a little bit. I just don't want it to be glaring white, you know? All right. Paper clip. Paper. Glue. Now here's why I say don't use hot glue on this project. Hot glue, when it dries and it gets cool, will crack and fall apart. We don't want things to fall apart, do we? No. Now you'll notice when I put this on, I'm putting it way off to one side. Okay, that's because I'm going to put another piece of paper here, and I don't want them to, I don't want them to clash. Let's see, what are we going to put on the other side? Maybe this. Maybe, maybe not. Never know. Let's see if we like it. May not like it. But that's the point of playing with scraps. We're not like locked into anything. It's scraps, you know? So let's get rid of this white edge. Let's take a look. I'm going to do it this way, I think. Nope, I like it better the other way. Let's see. Nope, I don't like it at all. Let's see. Do I like this part? Okay, kind of like this one. Yeah, kind of like that one. Okay. Ooh, I am not going to get that on my ruler. And I don't want that big white edge. So, I'm going to get out my handy dandy trimmy thing. Maybe. All right. If you got, those scissors, use them. Yeah, I do so like that better. And I'm going to put some ink on here. And this is a digital I printed. I don't remember where it's from. Maybe the Sherlock Holmes journal. But we're going to go ahead and ink this up. Kind of like that. Glue. Okay. We're going to put this on here. Just like that. That's 2. All right, I'm going to do the last one when I come back. We're going to do some decorating. I know, weird, right? Okay, so if you make these very neutral, like this, where it's just beige on beige on beige on beige, maybe this one even, but like this is very, that's going to go in a flower book, you know what I mean? All right, so if you make them very neutral, you can put these in your stash and decorate them later. But I'm going to decorate these now. So let me grab some scissors, pull some things out. So to do the decorating, you can pull out anything you want. Any, it doesn't have to be labels. I'm using labels because, well, I am a label kind of gal. There we go. And I'm cutting these ends off because, well, nobody wants to try and cut around them. You know what I mean? So, this happens to be a sheet of stickers, label stickers. So take this, place it right there. And let's see. Let's do this one. Let's make a sentimental one. There are people that will be proud of me. Besides, I won't use this on anything else. You know what? I'm not even going to use this. Let's do this. Let's do some alternatives. Okay. What did that say? Forever. Okay. Here, this one says forever. Forever. It's even blue. I'll put that on there. Why not, right? Okay. I kept this for a project, and I can't remember what it was. And then just for those diehard Timmy fans, let's see. What do we got in here that we could use? That's hysterical. Blank index tabs on a paper clip. I like it. It's office themed. All right, adhesive. Put the kitty paw back on. And you can decorate both sides, you know? All right. That's it, guys. That's my quick little project for today. Let me bring the camera down just a little bit so we can all see. There they are. So they're just quick and easy and simple to do. And it gets rid of a bunch of scraps that you otherwise wouldn't have anything to do with, you know? Because these are not very big scraps. So that's it. That's all we have. That's all I have. That's it. That's it. That's it. I had another one around here. Here it is. So this is the original one that I did. And you can see that these work quite nicely. Put them on to a page in our journals or on a pocket, or, you know, use them to clip stuff in, whatever it is you want to do. Quick, easy. I do recommend that if you use a base for book page as a base, that you double that page up, because this one is a single and it's very thin. Okay. But that's it. That's my project for today. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Push the button, subscribe, hang around, see how I can tick people off. They call the craft police on me a lot. Also, don't forget to go down to the description below, click on the more button. It's going to give you links to everything I've got going on in my social and digital world. So you can go down there and click on it. You can go to my Etsy shop. You can go to my Ko-Fi, my Patreon, all that stuff. It's all down there. Also, you can look in my Facebook group or here on my YouTube channel to get a list of all of my upcoming videos and classes and craft with me's and all that stuff. So until I see you again, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.